Awesome. Hello. Hello. Allow embedding. What does that mean? I need to pop the chat out. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go here and make this a little bit like this. So, and then put the chat up. What's up, guys? What's up, Rightsar? Twins Records? What's up, guys? How you doing? It's a good day. It's a good day in Bitcoin Town, guys. It really is. All this patience has really paid off, and things are looking good, guys. Things are looking good. I'm so happy. I went to bed last night. I was like, prayed to God, and I was like, please let my Bitcoin trade go through. And I woke up, I saw 40% profit, and I was like, hallelujah, hallelujah. We saw the signs. We didn't get impatient. We let price action work itself out. And we just held true. We didn't go through with any other trades. We didn't overtrade. I didn't give up on this trade because the signs were still there and we were sitting at a macro resistance. So if you're patient, you let price action work itself out, everything will work out for you. Obviously, sometimes you would get unlucky, but in this case, we did a good thing. All right. And last night on the previous live stream, we got like a comment. It was like, oh boy, people listening to a child give over exuberant calls, you're going to get liquidated fast. I don't know if he actually watched the video because I back up everything I say with extremely good technical analysis. So I understand that most of you guys don't have a problem with me, but there is always going to be somebody out there, some 35-year-old male that's jealous. And I'm willing to help every single person I can. So I don't care who you are. It's just I'm sharing my knowledge and people share knowledge with me. It's a give and take situation. I love you guys. It's been a really good night. It really has. Do you think we can still go down? I'll get to that in just 1 second. I want to let some more people come up in here. Already at 21 viewers. Man, so good, guys. So good. Fish, don't start. Don't start. We just got started. I made so much money last night. I just went out and I was like, what useless thing could I buy? So I got a new vape mod. And this is probably the best one I've ever had in my life. It's like a little tiny cute RDA that does salt nick, and it's just so. It's so good. It's so good, so good. All right, let me make sure that everything looks right before we really start diving deep into this, and then we'll get to the technical analysis and the price action. Okay, awesome. Disregard them, Kite. You're doing a great job. I'm 40 and I'm just fine learning from smart kids like yourself. Learning is a never ending process. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very much. For every person that dislikes me based on my appearance or my age, that really doesn't give much watch time and, actually listen to what I'm talking about, the concepts I'm talking about. I promote good risk management. I promote making sure that you are not over leveraging yourself the best way possible. So I'm happy that for every one person that dislikes me, there's a ton more that tell me I'm doing a great job. So I really do appreciate it, guys. You guys are the best. So where are my targets on this particular piece of price action? Let's go ahead and try to find out where we're going to take this. Assuming that this is our 1 and this is our 0, I would be assuming that this is the start of a breakout. Right now, we are retesting previous support, confirming it as resistance, and then we will be moving down towards the 1.618 around, give or take 8,180, 8,200, or even 8,150, just in that general range. Give me 1 second. I'm pretty sure Fish did a no-no. Be right back. Oh my God. Okay, it's right behind me. I'm going to have to turn off the camera for a second. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I'm so sorry. Bad, Fishy. Bad. You just went out. You just went out. Bad dog. Bad dog. Down. Bad dog. Absolutely bad dog. No boy. No, no, no. Yeah, getting a dog walker is actually not a bad idea. Haven't really thought about that. Okay, we back. We back. Uh, Yo, Kite, I'm back. Did you cover your losses or are you still in the red? No, I made 40% profit this morning. I took some of it, got my stop loss covered. My stop loss is now at 8,850. So we're golden, baby. Got my average entry up to 9,070. So we are fantastic. Kite, why are you sure that we're headed back down? So right now, we're in the process of actually breaking out. Okay. You can see this. I'm out of breath right now. Okay. So we were in an ascending wedge, bearish pattern. We dropped down to the downside. I don't think this is the final move. We got our target by taking the bottom pivot point and then attaching it to the general area where it should break out. Now, the reason why I don't think it's going to go on this target right here, all the way down to 7,600, is because we have a macro support line right here. Okay, so I would be expecting it to find support along the 3-to-1 gun fan, and it could even slide down and get a bounce off the 0.618. That is definitely a option during this little downtrend. Not a downtrend, just a little bit of a right shoulder on the inverse. Head and shoulders that we've been looking at for the past 2 weeks or so. So right now we are retesting previous support and trying to confirm resistance. We're already starting to see a rejection at the 50 on the 30-minute. Very, very good sign that we will continue to break down towards the 1.618, around 8,200. I was looking at your Patreon site. The prices are a little bit expensive. I really don't think so. I try to make them as inexpensive as possible. You will not find a single YouTuber that does one-on-one sessions for a lifetime membership for $500. Absolutely, you will not. The Telegram, that's debatable. But I wanted to make sure that people understood what they were getting themselves into when they buy the $50 a month. Even Bitcoin Chris, his comes with like videos and stuff, but he charges $60 a month. But I definitely, the Telegram group, it's not just a signals group. You can ask as many questions as you want. I will answer them to the best of my ability. So you can kind of treat that like a one-on-one session in a way. You just don't have real-time feedback. I lost about $400 yesterday. Man, that's what I'm saying, guys. You need to notice these signs. And even though everybody's like, oh, it's pumping, it's pumping, it's pumping, you need to look in the macro perspective. Macros guide the way. Okay, if you're always focused on scalping these small time frames and you're not paying attention to the bigger patterns or the bigger divergences on higher time frames, you will get caught off guard. It's essential to make sure that you are paying attention to everything on your chart and making plans based on those. Okay? We were at the target of the breakout from this previous price structure. So for us to find a rejection here is not uncommon. And like I said, it would not be healthy if we continued pumping after this. It would not be. It would not. Okay? So I really hope that, you guys start making better decisions and making sure your profit logs show that, because you just kind of have to find what is the highest probability trade that you can take at any given point in time, find the best entry, the best stop loss, make sure your risk to reward is right, and then hold with it. Do not change your mind. Let price action work itself out. Do not get scared. and just continue with it. Okay. Uh, Sorry, Kite. Kite, to say this, but the person who said Kite prices are expensive, then look for Crypto Kirby. Yeah, Crypto Kirby, he charges like zero point 0.1 Bitcoin a month just for his signals group alone. Okay. But you know, obviously over time, as I get more and more popular, it's not because I'm trying to milk the cow, so to speak. It's just I want to make sure that my time is divvied up between everybody evenly. Right now, I'm not that popular, so the prices are very low, and I don't have, you know, an overflood of people taking up my entire day with one-on-ones. But as time goes on, I will have to raise the price, and that's not so that I make more money, because I will make just about the same. It's so that I don't have so many people coming in all at one time, making sure that I can get to everybody. Because I definitely want to make sure that you guys have my attention when this, you know, in this market. Uh, tr- why you're not making a bot that trades daily? It would be interesting. I just I understand why people like bots because it's just simple and you don't have to do anything, and they grow a stack gradually over time if it's a good bot. But me in particular, like I get a certain satisfaction when I win a trade, and when I lose a trade, I can learn something from it. A bot can't learn as it loses trades. I can. So I want to make sure that everything I do is very, very intentional. That's why I don't use trailing stop losses. I don't use, you know, Bybit tools. I want to make sure every single decision I make is based off an educated point of view so that I feel better about the trade. I don't want something making the trades for me and potentially losing my money. I know there's very, very good bots out there that can definitely make you a lot of money. I just feel like I'm doing very, very well for myself, and there's absolutely no need at this point in time for me to uh, really do that. If I was like off traveling the world and I really didn't want to look at charts and I had, you know, $1 billion to just throw at bots, I would do that. But right now, everything's working fantastic. It really is. Anything did I miss? What is the indicator on the top right with green and red? That is called money flow index. It's from a indicator called Market Cipher B. Some people hate it, some people love it. I'm kind of like in the middle. You know, I'll tell people straight up, you do not need the indicator to do well. But if you have the money and you want an extra edge on your trades, specifically the money flow and VWAP are probably the best indications. I would say the Market Cipher B blue waves, you can get the same exact thing off of either Lazy Bear or even better, MACD. MACD, I find that the divergences that I see and make plays off of have extreme effects on price action, whereas with Market Cipher B, it might not be that crazy, so to speak. I don't personally recommend any bots. I haven't researched any, I haven't done any work with them, so I can't really recommend you any type of bots. Um, Yeah, and they're not the 500 bucks it says 500 bucks a month. I do need to update the description. If you buy the lifetime membership, that should be your indication that once you pay the lifetime membership, cancel it because it charges you as soon as you make the purchase. So that way I get my money, you can cancel the membership, and then from there on out, I send you the links, we set up schedules, and it's up to you guys to set the schedules. I work around you guys. So I'm not gonna be messaging you out of the blue and be like, okay, meet me at this day, this time. You know, you take it at your own pace. You know, if you feel like there was too much information in one session, wait a week or two. Try to use that information, get some questions about what you've learned, come back to the next session. We can expand upon it. Let's see. Do you give altcoin calls in the Telegram? Not really. If you have anything specific you want me to be looking at, most of the people in the Telegram group are specifically trading Bitcoin, so I focus more on that. But from time to time, if you want to be like, hey, can you take a look at such and such? I will give you my full technical analysis on it the best I can. What kind of signals do you provide? What's in the Telegram? So I'll show you it real quick. So I do daily outlooks, and then along with the daily outlooks, I'll tell you if I'm entering a specific position. Most of the time, I'll enter a position, and I'll be in that position for like a day or two if it's a scalp. And then I know a lot of people are gonna be like, scalping is not a day or two. The way I break up my chart, I have macro pattern, swing pattern, scalp pattern. So for me, it is. And then if it's a swing type trade, because right now I've been focusing on getting this short swing working. I really was not focusing on the little tiny pumps along the way. But I was in a long swing the entire time, all the way up until the 1.618 on the macros. Okay, but you can see I give a little daily outlooks, talking about what I see on these indicators, what I'm potentially hoping to see happen, all that kind of stuff. Um, right before we pumped out of this, I believe, where's it at? I gave a little call saying that we were going to pump. Over here, this one wasn't in a rush to get this out today because plan for me is still the same. We're still in a descending wedge, bearish pattern. Still have bearishly diverging RSI on the 2-hour, and money flow is dropping on the 2-hour as well. This is a bullish convergence pump and not a divergence, so I'm not scared if this does want to take us higher. And that is right before we went up to 9,200 and then dumped back down. So that was yesterday at about like 6 or 7 p.m. And then just put one out today. So this is a freebie for you guys. Absolutely awesome trade last night. Took some profits, moved my stop loss to 8,850. We are testing the 50 on the 1-hour and 2-hour RSI, the support of the previous ascending wedge pattern. Hoping to see a rejection and continuation down to 8,150. So I keep you updated on what I'm seeing, what I'm making plans on, and that's the types of signals I do. I want to kind of give everything in the trade, from the money flow, RSI, divergences on the MACD. Am I seeing a bearishly diverging RSI? Where are my supports and resistances? What are my stop losses? What are my potential DCA points? I give every single thing to make sure that you guys have success. Why 8,850 stop loss? Okay. So if we take this little pattern here from this potential bottom to this potential top, we get a little tiny bear flag. So this is technically the pattern that we're working with, that we're dropping out of, not technically the ascending wedge, although they do share the same kind of target. Okay. So the 0.5 is at 8,000. Fish. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, man? What's up? Chill. Okay. And actually, upon looking at this, I probably moved my stop loss to like 8,882. That'd probably be a better one. But my thought process on this was, if this is the resistance that we're working off of right now, my resistance is at 8,763. I give it a little bit of breathing room, and that's how I ended up with that $8,850 call. But if we do move along this and never back into the pattern, I will have to move my stop loss along this line as it goes up until we drop back down. So that would be my plan going forward with this. Exactly, TL. I feel like there's a huge plague in the crypto community, or even the trading community itself. Everybody, God damn it, fish, chill. You're not in danger. Hey, you're not in danger. You're not. Hey, no danger. Okay. But yeah, there's a huge plight in the community where people are trying to find the best indicator that is going to tell them exactly what to do, that they can make $1 million off of, that they can use 50 to 100% of their portfolio on every single trade with that indicator and have 100% accuracy. And if they can't find that indicator, they want to find the best trader they possibly can and follow every single move that they possibly can. But what you need to do is you need to find people that you trust and you like to see their technical analysis, and you need to learn from them so that you can make your own informative decisions based on price action, because nobody is 100% right. And there's many different perspectives in trading. And if you can't learn how to identify your own, you're stuck in the dust. You have to listen to other people. And if you listen to 3, 4, 5 people and they all have conflicting ideas, what the hell do you do? That's why you need to know what you got to do yourself and then go through with it. It might not work the first couple times, but you will get better and better and better. And then people will start looking up to you. And then it's up to you to teach other people. So the people that are in the one-on-ones that learn from me, hopefully one day they go off and they start their own one-on-ones or training programs so that more and more people have these tools at their disposal to make their lives better. Because I know from personal experience that you can make incredible amounts of money and better your life through this. And I know that sounds like a get rich quick scheme, but it's not. If you're starting with a couple $1,000s, it is going to take many, many years to get to a point where you can live off of like passive income, off of like the funding rate. Okay, that is a dream that people love to throw out, throw out there, like turn $1,000 into $1 million with this one indicator. It's not going to happen. It takes hard work, dedication, and trial and error over a long period of time to get where you gotta be. So I am very realistic with my approach on trading and risk management. I'm not selling pipe dreams. So if you're not willing to put the time and effort and maybe take a couple losses along the way, one-on-ones are not for you. Signals group is not for you. You have to be willing to learn. So that was my little rant and rave for the day. Just trying to address some of the people that are kind of hating on my channel in general. And it's not that many. Like every once in a while, I'll get a comment or a troll, saying, "Oh, you're just a kid. You don't know what you're doing." But they don't watch the videos. They don't listen to what I'm talking about. So I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. And I really do want to do a lot in this community over the next couple of years. Hopefully we grow and we have a higher reach. But I'm going to treat it the same way. Even if I have 100, 1,000 people in the chat, not 100,000, but 1,000 people in the chat, I will try to read every single message. That is just the way I got to do this because I want to make sure that if you are willing to ask a question, you should get an answer. So, Tom, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? It's been a great day. Squirrel, what's up, man? Uh, Thank you very much, John. I do appreciate that. Chuckles, I'm in danger. Do you use Bybit or something else? I use Bybit. I don't use anything else. I did think about getting a Binance margin exchange, but I don't know if that would kick me off the platform since the KYC. Not sure. How long are you retrading with TA? What is your experience in with TA? So like how long have I been trading and using a certain TA? I've been doing trading for about 7 to 8 months. I started back in May. I've been in crypto for many, many years. I bought most of my Bitcoin. Well, I definitely have more Bitcoin than what I started with. But I bought $13,000 of Bitcoin between 250 and $1,000 before the 2017 bull run. I made a shit ton of money off of that. I was lucky. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just a kid throwing money at something that sounded cool. I will be honest with that. I made a lot of money, and when the 2017 market crashed, I lost about 66% of everything I made. But then I took that money and I waited until the bottom. I bought back again once we were up towards, the May, June area, that little consolidation before another up spike. I started getting into trading and I made a lot of non-informative risk management mistakes on the way up. I got lucky just longing it, but I definitely made mistakes. So it's been a wild ride. It really has. I've gotten a lot better. And a lot of people are like, well, you've only been trading for a couple months. How can you be that good? It's because I've spent every single day dedicated to this. I've been learning things as I go along and making better and better decisions as I go along. I don't have a full-time job, so I can dedicate everything I'm doing to trading. And definitely, since I run this one-on-one group and everything like that, it is up to me in order to learn more things as I go along so that I can pass along to you guys. Yeah, we're dumping back again. Told you, man, rejection at the 50. Can't go wrong with those types of calls. Can't go wrong. Let's see. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Doing on something? Doing on something you're not supposed to? Hey. He was chewing on my bed sheet. Oh, we're dumping. If I don't get accepted into my chosen university, my plan is to do the same and dedicate myself to trading. Yeah, I was definitely put in a fortunate position with the luck that I had on the 2017 bull run. So it's definitely not like something that like everybody can do because I had enough money to last me a couple years. Because I'm a very frugal guy. Like, I love buying me little toys like this that cost like $100, $200 here and there. But I don't drive like a fancy sports car. I don't own $1 million home. There's absolutely no reason because if I bought like a $1.2 million home and like a $200,000 car and got all the appliances for that house and everything like that, first off, I don't need it. I don't have a family, like a, wife and kids. Um, I don't drive all that often. I get DoorDash delivered to me on the daily. And that would soak up like 60% of everything I have in my portfolio. So why would I spend all my money on that and instead use it to invest? And then later on in life, I could buy 10 houses if I want to. You got to really put these things in perspective. It's just not a good thing to be I feel like so many people, they just buy stuff to, I don't know, make themselves feel better or show off. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I really don't. All right, so we're trying to get a second bounce on the 30-minute here. We might be able to find support, build some sort of little pattern here. What I would want to see is maybe a descending triangle. That'd be awesome. But we got to kind of see where this lands. Exactly, exactly. But I feel like that is kind of stupid because so many people are like, I'm going to spend all my money because it's not going to be here when I'm gone. But who is going to be here when you're gone? Your kids, maybe your wife, your grandkids. So why would you waste all of your money on useless things instead of just making someone else's life better? And I know there's like a bunch of people that are like, well, I don't believe in inherited wealth because it promotes laziness. If my kids, when I'm, when I have kids and all that stuff, I'm going to make sure that they have the means to an end. Like I'm not going to hold back just because I want them to feel the way I felt when I was a kid. Obviously, I would like to see that same spark of life in them. As long as they have something that they are passionate about, I will give them all the money they need to get started in that. It doesn't matter what it is. If they are passionate about it, I will let them do it. JJ, what's up, man? Um, more patrols. Hey, great work. Can you explain what actually happening in the dump? Is there any reason why it doesn't just plummet in one move? Are the small bounce the bots or are people just jumping in? No, there's gonna be lines of support before an official breakdown, and you'll see this a lot in normal market flow. And I know a lot of people aren't used to normal market flow in Bitcoin. They're always used to like just gigantic pumps and then just gigantic dumps back and forth, back and forth. But what is happening right now is we broke out of the ascending wedge. We came back up and we retested the previous support and essentially confirmed it as resistance. But we do have a line of support here coming off of this high right here. Okay, so that is our price action horizontal support. So in order for us to get past that, we need to form some sort of pattern here, like a bearish continuation, maybe a bearish pendant, descending triangle, something like that to help push us back down just a little bit more. And you can see that target will work out pretty well. So if we built a descending triangle or a bearish pendant here, and we took that target, you can see that would bring us down to the 1.618. So we have to build some sort of pattern to get past that. And this one is the previous pattern from this bottom right here as well. Do you have a take profit level? So I've already taken a little bit of my profit because definitely with some of these DCAs, I went over 5%. I think I was up to 7%. So as soon as we came down and I was in 40% profit, I took 1/4 of my profits there. And the rest, I'm just letting it go down. I got my stop loss set up correctly. Like I said, if price action starts to move, I'm gonna have to kind of slowly move my stop loss with it as it goes along, but that shouldn't be any problem. Thank you very much, man. I do appreciate that. Everybody that shows up to all these live streams, you don't know how much it means to me, because you know it's a weird situation I'm in. It definitely is, um, and the support that you guys give me definitely make it more worthwhile and make things fun. So I do appreciate it. Flyer, what's up, buddy? Let's get some music going. Last night when I got that comment on my last live stream talking about how I'm just a kid and nobody should listen to me, I'll just listen to this song on repeat like like 6 times. I'll put it on for you guys. It's probably like one of my favorite songs. There's like one lyric in it that's like, "Pick your poison." Uh, I forgot. When it pops up, I'll give you guys a little wink. Let's see. All right, there we go. It's the fact you're prepared to put in the time to others. Nice guy, and thank you, man. I do appreciate that. Rafa, what's up, man? Where do you think this will drop to? If we do shoot past 8,455, my next target would be about $8,181. Okay. That is if we don't pump back up into the ascending wedge. Okay. And I have a feeling that we're at the 0.5 of this particular pump. Almost to the 0.5. The 0.5 is at 8,381. So what could happen actually is we find support on the 0.5 and then get a bounce and then build a descending triangle to break down to the downside to retest that previous resistance and confirm support, and then get another bounce up to the upside. So that is definitely a possibility that I would be watching out for. And definitely look for bullishly diverging indicators. So we'll just keep an eye on this. Okay, now that we got through that song, what do you think? Okay, hold on. Some long-term predictions. So, yes, someone said it in chat. I'm expecting that this next pattern that we're forming over the next 40 to 60 days will be a right shoulder on this inverse head and shoulders right here. And that will turn everything from $14,000 down into a new potential target to the upside. The main resistance that we need to break through in order to start seeing that would be this 4-to-1 Ganfan here. You can see that we got rejected at it when we dumped out of the descending triangle from the early consolidation. When we pumped 40% from 7,300 to 10,300, we got rejected at it again, and we got rejected at it here. So that is a very, very strong resistance going forward. And once that's broken, I will definitely be a lot more bullish. And I still am bullish. I'm just medium, like short-term bearish, because we definitely need to come back down, let some of these higher-end RSIs cool off, and then we're golden. The daily definitely could come back down and test the 50 and get a bounce. If we do see a bounce on the 50 on the daily, I would start changing my views on this pattern, and we could see an early breakout to the upside. But I, in particular, am ready to trade this specific range, this resistance, and this support for the next 60 days. I definitely think that would be a good thing. It'll let some of the, like the weekly and stuff cool off. But the weekly is looking absolutely fantastic right now, guys. we have hidden bullish divergence, we have regular bullish divergence. Money flow has a very positive slope on it. And as well as that, we are starting to go past the 50. I would start to expect it to turn back around. We do have a horizontal support here on the weekly as well. So if it ever does get back down to that, expect a bounce. Yeah, man, it's totally fine to take profit. Obviously, you want to have some sort of plan that you always stick to, whether it's a fib line or a specific price action target. But it's not bad if you just take your profit. Okay, as long as you have green on your screen, you're clean. So what I'm looking for now is if I want to go take a long to the upside on like a scalp account, what I would want to do is I want to see a bullishly diverging indicator. This one's bullish convergence, okay? But if we do hold this parabolic support and get a bounce right here with this lower low, okay, from this piece of price action right here, okay, that could be an early warning sign to go ahead and take a long. My hope for that would be maybe if it comes back down a little bit more. Otherwise, if you're going to take a long off of something like this and you take an entry like right now, your stop loss needs to be about 2.71% away in order for it to be effective. Okay, so about 2.7 to 2.8. Okay, so you could use probably like say about 7x, 7 to 6.5x would be safe for this trade. And then if it's pretty hard because you would want to see it get back above this pattern. Like right now would not be a good entry. Okay, if you do want to take a long off of something like this, you would want to see it pump back above the pattern. You would want to get your entry at about 8,811 and then put your stop loss back down here. And then you could probably hit that with like about a 15 to 20x. Definitely not 20x, but somewhere in between 15 to about 18x. Kite, can you talk through your process of timing on longing an upcoming swing low? Consolidate around that Ganfan. So, like I said, if you're working with macros and you just notice these rejections and you're able to identify what your strongest supports and resistances are, you can take really good risk to reward trades on them. So like right here, I got my average entry on this short to 9,070. Okay. My stop loss was at 9,350. Okay. So right here, that's a 2. Okay. So I took 1/4 my profits on a 2. Now if I come down to the 1.618, that is a 3.28. Okay. So that's pretty good. It's not like crazy, but it's definitely good. So what a risk to reward is means that I'm making 3 times more than I would have potentially lost. So that means as long as I stay consistent on the amount that I'm using in the next trade and staying consistent with my stop loss, that means I could lose 2 trades in a row and still be in profit. So, I mean, if you can stack these trades, you are pretty much setting yourself up for potentially every single loss you ever take. So within this pattern here, I set myself up for 30 losses in a row. I could lose 30 times in a row and still be in profit. Obviously, not the goal. You don't want to do that, but that is the upside of taking these good risk to rewards. Hopefully, so process of timing on longing. So my entries and exits are based off of support and resistance according to my Ganfans and my fib retracements. I do not let indicators determine my entries, okay? I look for the best possible entry off of a huge resistance or a huge support, and then I will take that trade because it is a good risk to reward, and then I will look to my indicators, and if my indicators are lining up correctly, I just hold the trade. If I get an early rejection off the 50 or bounce off the 50, and I'm in the opposite position, that is potentially an early warning sign to go ahead and exit that trade. And you might say, well, you got many, you were holding a short from here, holding a short from here, holding a short from here, and you got, bounces off the 50 the entire time. Why didn't you go long? okay? Because though these are scalping patterns, scalp, 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 okay? But we are looking for a potential high, okay? Which we got a rejection off of this Gonfan. And then we are looking for our next swing low. So you can see these swing lows and swing highs on the medium time frame patterns. They can take many, 2 weeks to reach their target. So that's why I am still holding short and waiting for this 1.618 or this particular Gonfan to get hit. Okay, doesn't mean that I will get there. It just means that there's a high chance that I will. So like in this trade right here, from, this, I took a short right here. It took me 17 days to get to my target before I went back into a long on that swing account. But I made 160% in a really, really good risk to reward. Okay, so you have to be able to identify these patterns, take the best risk to reward, and make sure you have strong hands during it. Okay, now if you get a bounce off the 50 on a daily time frame and you're within that pattern, that could be an early warning sign that you will have a breakout to the upside and exit your short. But definitely take the best trades you can and then focus on indicators afterwards. Yeah, so you can get by with just diagonals, but combining fib retracements and Gonfans to have a diagonal picture and a horizontal picture, it's extremely effective. Extremely effective. So that's why I use that. Fish, go lay back down. You're being good. Do you make Discord calls? So all of my calls are on the Telegram. The Discord has a couple resources in it that you can use, like trading plans and stuff like that. The Discord we use mostly for meetups. So every Thursday at 8 p.m. EST, we have a Discord meetup. So everybody's welcome to join. Usually it starts off with, if someone's new, they'll introduce themselves, talk about, what background they're coming from, how long they've been trading. And then, like 30 minutes or so, it'll be me and Seth talking about the market, what we think is going to happen. Sometimes we got conflicting ideas and we get into a little tiny argument, but it's all in love. So it's really good and it's really progressive and allows you to learn from, potentially better traders. But as you start learning more and more, you can add to that conversation. And then we also are trying to work on a schedule for a second meetup during the week, where people from overseas, they can make it. Because I know 8 p.m. EST is like, 4 a.m. in some other countries, and you won't be able to make it. So we are trying to do an earlier one around 12 p.m. EST on like Saturday or Sunday, so most people have off. My Telegram, you can find a link in the description of the live stream. It will take you on to a Patreon page, and you'll have 3 options. You got just a thank you, just kind of like a donation type thing. You have $50 a month for the Patreon, and then you have $500 for one-on-one sessions. That includes lifetime membership to the Telegram group, as well as the Discord and lifetime memberships for the one-on-ones. Obviously, it's not going to be like lifetime memberships for the one-on-ones because there's a certain point where you won't need them anymore. If you want to catch up and talk about some trades you made, but at some point you're going to have all the information at your disposal, and we would have gone over it many, many times. So definitely, like I said, it's like an average of like 4 to 5 sessions before someone really starts seeing significant results. I've had people that have had like 2 sessions and they come back and they're like, man, this changed my life. I'm making such better decisions. I am feeling better about my trades. I'm not exiting too early. I'm not exiting too late. Thank you so much. So I'm definitely proud to say that there's a lot of people in there that are doing very, very well. So I love what I do, guys. Oh, I love this thing. This thing is so awesome. I have not had something like this in my life. So what's essential when doing Gonfans? We're going to start a new chart here to show you guys. There is a specific formula that you want to follow for Gonfans, okay? And I can highlight this on any time frame. What doesn't matter is, it doesn't matter your time frame, it matters price structure, okay? So what's essential is that you find a pattern, okay? So remember this is a formula. Pattern, breakout, top, swing low, okay? Pattern, breakout, hold on. Bottom, swing high. So from this top or bottom, the next swing high point or swing low point, those are going to be your 2 connection points on your GON fans. Okay, so if I go out to a macro chart on like the daily, we have a pattern. Okay, we have a breakout. Okay, and then we have a swing high. That is your new GON fans. Okay, now you need to square your GON fans. What do I mean by that? Okay, so you will start your GON fans on the first connection point, but the second connection point is not here, okay? You need to square your chart. So you need to find the intersection between your high and low, and you see how it makes this square right here? Okay? So your GON fans are going to start from this point here and this point here, okay? So like if I was drawing this right now, I would get a trend angle tool. I would line up a 45-degree angle on each side, put down my GON fans, like so. And when you first lay down your GON fans, they might not be accurate. So the way you adjust them, okay, so you can see, and make sure you have log scale turned on as well, or else it's not going to make sense, okay? So when you first lay down your GON fans, they won't make total sense. Okay, so this looks actually pretty accurate, but I'm going to mess it up just to show you guys. So you line up those 45s. You can see how this 3-to-1 GON fan makes absolutely no sense. This 4-to-1 GON fan makes absolutely no sense. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to zoom in or out, and that will offset your 45-degree angles like you see here. And then you can readjust your 1-to-1 GON fans onto those angles to make them more accurate. So like right now, I need to bring this 3-to-1 GON fan down and make that the support of this diagonal. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my zoom, and I'm going to try to see if that works. You can see how I brought it down lower. We're going to adjust our zoom again. You can see that is much more accurate. So now we're going to readjust our up channels. Okay. We're going to bring it down just a little bit more. Okay. And actually, I need to make sure that the 4-to-1 GON fan is the acting resistance up here. So we actually need to take this up. My mistake, my mistake. Okay, so that's pretty close. Take it up a little bit more. Okay. Pretty close. A little more. Okay. And then we adjust the up channels. So now you can see, actually, I'm a stickler for accuracy. Okay. So now you can identify what your strongest supports and your strongest resistances are on the macro time frames. So we can see that the 4-to-1 GON fan is a really strong resistance. We can see that the 2-to-1 up channel is a strong support, as well as the 2-to-1 down channel is a strong support as well. So you can see that how that gives us kind of a better picture, rather than just drawing, you know, descending wedge, and you're like, okay, we broke out of the descending wedge. Okay, this gives me a more accurate picture, I feel like, of what it allows me to not underestimate the potential of price action in certain supports or resistances. If you're drawing everything based off of price action, it's easy to underestimate what that maximum resistance or maximum support could be. And then you go ahead, you put your fib retracements on it, and then you got your horizontal support and resistance as well. And make sure that when you do this, you go into the settings and you click this little box called fib levels based on log scale. Okay. And you'll see that your 0.5 will go through all of these intersections at the middle of the symmetrical triangle, separating it into 2 halves. Okay, so that tells you that you're pretty good. All right. And you can see right here, we just bounced between the 0.618 and the 0.5 until we found support along the 2-to-1 GON fan. And then we blasted up. found resistance off of our maximum Ganfan up here. So what I'm looking to see on a macro time frame is a inverse head and shoulders forming right here. And as long as we hold this 2-to-1 Ganfan, I do think that potentially this channel right here could be the channel for our new bull run. Okay. Obviously, if it gets invalidated, I have to change my perspective. But I do think that this potentially could be it. Mrs. G, I'm glad you had a happy birthday. Welcome. It's no problem. You can make it to every single live stream. You can miss a couple. So this is why I'm so excited about Bitcoin right now, guys. Like I said, I break my chart down into 3 chunks. I got my macros, I got my mediums, and I got my micros. That way I can color code and I know which supports and resistances are the strongest at any given point in time, and then judge accordingly. So that's why scalping is so much harder for people, because the supports and resistances, given enough volume, can really be easily broken, but then they won't have the macros or even the medium time frame supports and resistances highlighted, so they get caught off guard. They might, like right here, okay? If you're looking at this as potentially a bullish pendant, okay, let's say this is your pendant formation here, and you're looking at this and you're like, okay, flagpole formation, and then your target coming off of this is 9,275, but you have a medium time frame Ganfan blocking you from reaching that, you won't know to take your profit there. That's why it's essential. That's why I have so many damn lines on my screen. But it's not about having 1,000 different lines and you know it's going to find support or resistance on one of them. It's about categorizing those lines into certain heaviness, so to speak, strength. You know that this one is much higher resistance than this one. So you know that, like, if I'm pretty damn close to a macro, like a daily macro resistance, I'm not going to base my stop loss off of this right here. I'm going to put my stop loss above my strongest resistance or strongest support. So that way I know if it gets hit, I can take a market long and potentially make my loss back. So you always have to set yourself up in an advantageous position to make sure that there's always an upside to the downside, if that makes any sense. No, I don't really square my chart before doing it. I do it as I draw my Ganfans, just using my crosshair and my connection points. Like I said, you're just identifying that that intersection between your high and low. So you have your crosshair, it gives you a level, it gives you a vertical, and you just got to find that connection point, get that 45-degree down, make sure that your Ganfans are accurate. You're in business. You're in business. And there is definitely other ways of using Ganfans, like Gan boxes and stuff like that. I just prefer this setup. It's what I'm used to. It's highly effective. No reason to change it as of right now. Does your Ganfan always anchor from a low and then parallel the top swing high? No. So like right here, okay? So this one was a breakout bottom to a swing high. Like over here, if I go down to a 2-hour, hey, don't do that. If I go down to a 2-hour, this was a breakout bottom to a swing high. So that was actually not the right thing to say. This one right here, okay? This one was a breakout top to a swing low. So instead of finding the intersection between your high and low over here, it's going to be right here, okay? So it's all dependent on what comes first. Like I said, if your low comes before your swing high, you are going to start on your low, and then you're going to find the intersection between your swing high, between your swing high and your low. And then if your high comes before your low, you are going to find the intersection between your swing high to swing low. I know it's a lot of swing high, low, high this, low, high that, but I think you get the point. Can you confirm the Ganfan theory on the previous bear market before 2017? Yeah, so these market cycles are a huge part of Ganfans as well. You can see I have these blue vertical lines, okay? These are 192-day market cycles. You can see that it called the absolute bottom of this bear market. it called the absolute top of this uptrend, and I do believe it called the bottom of this downtrend right here. It doesn't mean that there's going to be a gigantic shift in direction between each one, but what I have found is that whatever, like let's say this is a downtrend. Okay, this one wants to be an uptrend. This one wants to be a swing high. So when it finds its low, it will try to retest previous resistances from this 192-day market cycle. And obviously it couldn't get past it, so we dumped back down. Okay, and then this one wanted to retest resistances from this market cycle and got past it. Okay. So the previous bear market, let's go ahead and try to square this up. All right, so we have to do, okay, so our top is here, our bottom is here. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to get a trend angle tool. Like I said, I start with my top because my top comes first. We're going to find the intersection between my high and low. And you could also turn this into a much bigger pattern as well, but I just keep it separated just for the sake of things. Because unless you're trading like extremely macro wise, I don't think that's really a good idea. All right, so get our Gone fans here. 45. I think this is already accurate. All right, actually no. So I need to make sure that my 8-to-1 Gone fan. Actually no, because that is my 1 fib retracement. So, I mean, this already looks accurate as hell right here. Let's put fib retracements on this. Yeah, guys. I mean, this is accurate right here. You just have to identify what your strongest supports and resistances are as you go along. You can see how we held the 1 fib retracement the entire time from this bottom right here. So from these 2 connection points, you could have potentially had an entire pattern set up for the bear market. And then once you are below this 8-to-1 Gone fan, all you got to do is hold shorts, okay? But there is always a small chance to find support or resistance off of the 1 or the 0. You do have to kind of account for that. But like right here, when you're just holding the 1, you can put your stop loss above the 8-to-1 Gone fan. And I know that that is like, unless your entry was like right here, that's about 6% away. But if you're working on these macro time frames, that is what you have to do. Obviously, from this high right here to this low would be another set of Gone fans going forward that you could make price judgments off of. And you can see that when we broke the 1, our target was the 1.618, and we almost got to it. Okay, almost got to it, but we were stopped out by some of this support and resistance right here. So that's where we found our potential bottom at. So just to show you that, I don't want to have too much stuff on my screen, so we're going to go ahead and delete all this. Hopefully that was helpful and showed you the potential that you can have from just 2 connection points. And obviously, as time moves on, you have to make these more accurate. And if you don't, you're just working against yourself. It's not like you're cheating and saying, well, I have to set my Gone fans up one way and follow them. If you can't readjust your trend lines to be more accurate, you are shooting yourself in the foot. So don't look at it like cheating. Look at it as making it more accurate. That's what you're doing. Is there any questions I missed? Trading goal is not to try to make money. It's about trying not to lose money. That's how I look at trading. Exactly. Don't worry about the dollars you're making. Worry about the dollars you're losing. Okay, make sure that every single loss is not that hot, not that crazy, and make sure that every single win is as best as possibly as it can be. That's why I like to highlight risk to reward ratios and making the most out of trades. I set my stop loss to 8,930. That's a little bit high of a stop loss. I don't think that's like a bad stop loss going forward as we start to move over. But as of like right now, okay, your stop loss should at least be above like this resistance, okay? Or at least above the 0.5, around like 8,898. But if you're in profit on that stop loss, JJ, that's completely fine. If you can set your stop loss in profit, you are completely fine. And you're definitely not doing the wrong thing. Okay, the wrong thing is moving your stop loss down too early before you see a clear rejection off of a previous support or resistance. So like right here, when we broke out above the 8-to-1 Gone fan, if you're constantly moving your stop loss as price goes up like a trailing stop loss, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You want to wait for the next support to be tested, and then when you see a bounce, then you can move your stop loss up. So like right here, when we found support on my swing to the long side, I moved my stop loss right here. Originally, my stop loss was 7,526. Okay, but when we found support and started blasting off, I can move my stop loss up to 7,925. I'm talking way too damn fast, and I'm very, very sorry. I'm just excited. The day has been a great day. I swear to God, I make the most money when I'm sleeping because I just don't watch the charts and I don't get scared. What is my horoscope? I am a Scorpio. You can probably tell by my baby face. I've never been an astrology guy. It's not my thing. And we're also known as the tricksters, which I feel like that's why CryptoFace doesn't want to give out his horoscope, because I think he's also a Scorpio, and I feel like that would be another reason for people to be like, you're a scam artist. You're just scamming people. Okay, so I don't want the same thing to happen to me. Yeah, but what's crazy about but what about those crazy wicks right now? I'm glad I moved my stop loss on my long, otherwise I'd be at square one on my trade. So like I said, you have to find your strongest support and your strongest resistance at any given point in time. If you're basing your stop loss off of really low time frame supports and resistances, those are easily broken even though those might be your macros. That's why most of my supports and resistances are based off of either a medium time frame Gone fan or a daily macro Gone fan. That way I'm preventing really crazy wicks from potentially wicking me out. Very, very rarely do I get wicked out. Like right here, I tried to take a short, didn't work out. But as soon as we came back down below it, I put in a market short. I made 200% on the way down. I went on to the 15-second time frame, made 200% in about 5 minutes. Absolutely insane. I had Domino's today. Went by the vape shop, saw my buddy because he works there. We just hung out. I walked in and I was like, dude, you wouldn't guess how much money I made last night. You got anything new I can buy? And he was like, hell yeah. He loves when I walk in the shop because he knows that he's going to meet his quota for that day. How much leverage do you use in general? The most leverage I've ever used on one trade is about 25x. So my leverage is based on stop loss. Okay, so the better my entry and the better my stop loss, the higher my leverage. Okay, so every single trade I take, I will always lose 20% if I'm stopped out. And I always use the same position size, okay, relative to my leverage. Okay, so the way I do this, okay, so like this trade right here, if you took an entry right here on a short, okay, your stop loss should be above your strongest resistance, which is about right here. So your stop loss, give it some breathing room, is about 2.2%, okay? So if you have a real stop loss of 20%, you take 20 divided by 2.2, it should give you around like 9.5, okay? So that is 9.5x leverage that you can use on that trade safely. And then you take 5% of your portfolio if you're using it for the specific trade, or take 2% of your portfolio for a scalp trade, and you times your leverage by that 2 or 5%, and that will give you your position size. That way, from trade to trade, you are consistent. That makes sure that your risk to reward ratio isn't out of balance between trades. That's what I'm saying, man. If you're always focused on these lower time frames and not paying attention to what the higher time frames are telling you, you will miss out on these gigantic trades. Okay? Like I said, guys, you really have to pay attention to the swings. A lot of people, they love fantasizing about making millions of dollars off of scalps, but the majority of your money should be coming from swings. They are very, very easy to trade, and they are very, very profitable. Okay? Hey, Kite, do you think this wick down to 8,451, which it hit twice, is a really good support? I'm gonna assume you meant support. If so, how will we break this downwards? Okay, so we are sitting at this horizontal support and this horizontal support right now. Okay, so as long as we continuously hold this resistance here, okay, we do have a lot of horizontal support here, horizontal resistance here and here. Okay, so as long as we do not come above any of this resistance in this diagonal right here, which we got rejected pretty hard at, I would be assuming that we will be building a bearish pendant or a descending triangle, and then that would bring us down to the 1.618. Okay, because you have to, this is a really strong support, don't get me wrong. Okay, so we have to build some sort of pattern to push ourselves past it. Chess game analogy. Okay, you have to think about what needs to happen in order for you to get to a certain point. Okay, it's always a process, it's never a straight shot. So, in order for me to really start looking at a break downwards, I would want to see a really good pattern form that is a bearish pattern. And then I would specifically be looking for either one, a bearishly diverging RSI like this. Right here, you can see that we have a higher high on Bitcoin, but a lower high on the RSI. Okay. Or I would be looking for a rejection off the 50 like we did at the 30-minute before we did a gigantic candle downwards. Exactly. I'm only risking 20% of my trade. So if I'm using 5% of my portfolio and I lose 20%, I'm losing 0.5% of my entire portfolio. Because my portfolio in particular, 50% of it is dedicated to just regular trading, just buying and selling high and then accumulating on the drops. Okay. And then 50% of my portfolio is dedicated to leverage trading. Okay. So that's how I divvy up my portfolio and diversify it between coins that I can hold and also leverage trade and make sure that my risk isn't too high. You guys are gonna have to forgive me. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Barry, what's up, man? Am I long? Not necessarily. I am in a swing short right now. Never settles. What's up, buddy? I haven't checked the amount of viewers that we're at right now. I always got to keep my eye on it. See if we get up to 100. 72. Awesome, guys. Thank you very much. Let's see. Yeah, there's no crazy bearish divergences right now. There's a little bit on some of these smaller time frames, but we've already kind of seen that play out. You could set up a Gon fan on this. You could set up this bottom to this swing high and set up a Gon fan here if you wanted to. I'm not. I don't think that would be really a good idea, but you could. Crypto Chris, what's up, buddy? I was trying to get Crypto Bitcoin Chris's attention the other day. On his newest video, he posted a comment. I tried to reply to it. I just wanted love from Dad. I was like, I love you so much. You taught me so much. I tell everybody to go watch your stuff. I love you. And he didn't respond. It's okay. I understand. He's busy. He's busy. Can you show the yellow Gon fan where it's set from? That is set. Well, this one is just a diagonal resistance that I drew. Diagonal support. Well, now it's resistance. But this one right here in particular comes from this bottom to swing high. Crypto Orange, glad you made the move, man. Close call, it really was. Things were starting to heat up, but we out of the woods. We out of the woods. As Crypto Face would put it, when she bangs, but I'm not a she. Which video can I watch for the best explanation on Gon fans? I will be putting out a new video pretty soon. I haven't really started working on it, but I do have one on my channel. There is a lot of missing information on like how to readjust your Gon fans to make them more accurate, but for the most part, it is a pretty good tutorial. So if you look up how to set up Gon fans, my video should pop up technically as the first one. I'm quite new to trading. Just been holding and getting nowhere for some reason now. See, holding is a good and bad thing. So if you're really looking to make a lot of money, holding is not what you want to do. You want to hold on the up runs and then sell and then accumulate more on the drops if you're not leverage trading, okay? And obviously that takes a little bit of knowledge and a lot of technical analysis work, but it's definitely a much higher payoff. But if you have like a full-time job or you don't have time to trade or even look at a chart for 5 minutes, buying and holding is pretty much what you're going to have to do. Still going short? Yes, I'm still holding my swing short. I am. I mean, we could scalp long off of this because we are starting to curve. Now we look like a bullishly diverging on RSI on the 30-minute. But like I said, I don't think that would have a huge effect on price action. So I would assume that would probably be coming down here. Bullish divergence, it might take us up to here. It could even form another ascending wedge, technically, that we could drop from again. So thank you, Never Settles. I appreciate that, buddy. I really need to get like into like a YouTuber flow. Like smash those likes, guys. Moon the likes, man. Moon the likes. Well, it doesn't really matter to me. Like I know that I'm doing a good job. As long as I continue to do that, the likes, the views, everything will come. I don't really care about it. Obviously, I want to reach as many people as possible so that I can help as many people as possible. But that comes with time. Let's look at where the 6 hour is. 6 hour is hanging around the 50. Okay. That is possibly a good thing. Last time that we had a bounce off the 50 on the 6 hour was down here and we didn't get an overbought signal until we were right here. So that potentially could skyrocket us back up. And that could actually do one of two things. That could be potentially us being put in a descending triangle right here between this support and this resistance going forward, or maybe a bullish pendant, which we could break out to the upside and potentially see $10,100. So multiple different options here to actually break out of this. A lot of the higher end RSIs, like the 6 hour, 12 hour, they are definitely have a lot of potential to bounce. So I would be watching that very, very closely. Don't sell out, Kite. Not being a typical, always annoyingly bullish crypto bro is why I keep going back. That's what I'm trying to be. That's why I don't shove profit logs down your guys' faces. I am straight to the point. I will show you my charts. I will tell you what I'm doing. I'm not going to make preconceived notions that nobody could make. Like people saying we're going down to $1,000 because these fib circles are crossing and this would be this. Shut up. Absolutely no hate. It's just, I do think those types of channels are just fishing for views. I'm a very sectional trader. I will, I'm trading a certain pattern and I will look for a certain position based on certain indicators. Okay. And then once those are invalidated, you have to change your point of view. Traders, good traders, are the ones that can identify certain positions, look at probabilities, make certain plans on those probabilities, and then take advantage of it. They don't base their decisions off of emotion or anything like that. Is there a reason why you don't come out of your short and then re-enter to maximum on compounding ROI? So my swing trades, I don't like, constantly entering and exiting. I'll take some profits, and if I see a position, I will DCA on it. But right here, my target is the 1.618. So until I hit my target, I will not exit my trade. I have already made a shoot ton of money. My stop loss is good, so I will just hold on to this until it's invalidated. Because this is a swing trade for me. This is a breakout swing, a breakout top. Now I'm looking for a swing low. Okay, these swing highs and swing lows, they take many days in order for them to get to their targets. Like this one right here. From the time we broke this 8-to-1 Gonfan and went into a swing breakout long, it took 12 days. Well, it took, let's see, it took 9 days in order for me to take my profit on that. But I held strong. I was long the entire time. I took some profits on the 1.272 to cover my stop loss. When we came back down, I started seeing some bullishly diverging indicators. I added to my long. Off we go. So you have to be patient with the trades that you're trying to make. Now, going long on a scalp account right now might not be a bad decision, okay? But you would definitely want to try to get your entry somewhere lower to this support. Otherwise, you run the risk of just having a straight shoot down and then just losing money for nothing. If you can get your entry around this and then have your stop loss right here, you could hit that with a 20x, okay? This one, it came out like a couple weeks ago. I love it. I have never tried anything so fantastic in my life. So, it's a brand called SX, and there are other mods. Some people like them, some people don't. Their pod systems, I think this is their first pod system. This is $130. They have a $60 version, which is basically the same thing with a little bit less bells and whistles. But it's basically, let me see if this is on camera. It's basically a mini RDA with a ceramic coil. And then it's a squonk mod. It's an automatic squonk mod. So every time you hit the fire button, it will pump juice into the coil as you're hitting it. So there's absolutely no dry hit whatsoever. So right here, if I can get this out, come on. It has a little canister, and it's a salt nick device. So it's a salt nick pod system, RDA. Well, it's not rebuildable. These are just one solid piece. You can't rebuild the coil. But yeah, and whenever you hit it, it just automatically pumps juice up into the coil. You don't have to drop juice on it yourself. So I mean, if you want one of these, I don't know if they're in your local vape shops yet, but they have a $60 version and they have a $130 version, which this is the $130 one. Yes, they do have nicotine, fear the Lord. Yeah, it's so cool. And you can't adjust the wattage or the thermal control on it. That way they make sure that the coil will last as long as possible and people don't, go too hard with it. But you can control how much juice is pumped into the coil as you're hitting it, in order to have a constant flow. And they give you kind of a baseline. So like 30 microliters per second is what needs to be pumped into the coil if you're using salt nick. If you're using regular juice, you have to use like 15 to 20 microliters. I don't know if that's an actual unit of measurement, but it just says pump 30. But a really cool device. I really like it. It gives me the feeling of having a big mod in a cloud, but with the availability of having salt nick. So, and I mean, it doesn't and it's some of the best flavor I've ever gotten off of a salt nick device. I loved my Venchi, but this thing is another ballpark. Enough talk about vapes. Is Damon here? He would love to hear me talking about a pod system so infatuatedly. He'd probably be like, dude, do a vape trick? I don't want to embarrass myself. I can't do it while sitting down and then just having this computer monitor here. But I can do like those people that like blow an O and then like carry it across the room and like split it into multiple O's. I can do that. But I need like room. Because you have to get like a lot of momentum. God, this sounds like such a I sound like such a loser. Triple O's, you do them like that? I hate how the vape kind of messes up the green screen though. You didn't really get to see all that with the DaVinci. Oh, 2 fingers? I can't do a triple O. Never tried it. What a great day, guys. What a great day. Some of the messages that I got yesterday night, like they were just like, I thought you were crazy, man, for this short call, but this was absolutely awesome. Reedy, I don't know if you're watching the stream, man, but looking forward to working with you, man. What state are you from? Assuming you're in the U.S. I'm from Virginia. So born, raised in Virginia, never moved outside of the state. Grew up in Woodbridge. So I had like a varied childhood. Lots of different folk. Because Virginia's like a weird place. Like you have so many different cultures all mixed together. It's like if New York was a state. There's Vietnamese people, like have their own communities. And man, I love I love me some pho. I walk into the restaurant and she's so nice to me. Vietnamese people have some of the best customer service. I swear, man. I don't know, they just do it differently. Like they are so nice. You're messing up my airflow, bro. I can't do my tricks. Well, it's not necessarily 30 minutes for scalps and 2 hours for swing trades. It is based on pattern. So like I said, I break my chart down into 3 chunks. I have macro pattern, which is the orange god fans, that gigantic pendant slash bull flag that we're in. I have medium patterns, which these are my swing trades. And then right now we are in the transition of a breakout of a swing pattern and trying to put in a new one going forward. And then everything in between, like these descending triangles, this little pendant here, this little pendant here, this little pendant here, those are scalping patterns. So it's based on price structure. It is not based on time frame. Thank you very much, Zoltan. Like I said, I I don't try to act more intelligent than I am. I'm very upfront. If I don't know something, I will admit it. I'm not going to like try to bullshit you. I'm 20 years old. I'm a kid. I love to play video games. I love, just hanging out with my friends. But I am passionate about trading and I do see the potential in it. And I would love to do this for the rest of my life. So that's why I'm giving it everything I got right now. So for all the haters that, bash on me because I'm 20 years old, wouldn't you want someone to get started trading young? I know the problem with that might be, me putting myself out there and potentially have people following me and they don't like that. But at least I'm trying, man. I'm trying and I'm doing very well. Yeah, like the one-on-ones, like I'm very realistic with people. Like if they are coming into the space with only like a couple $1,000s, I'm very realistic with, hey, you could make a good chunk of change in a year, but you're not going to make hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. It's just unrealistic. You have to have good risk management. You have to grow this stack gradually in order to make sure you don't lose your money. Like someone said, I forgot the name. I think it was Crazy Head. Focus on not losing your money. It's not about, how much money can I make? It's about how much money can I save? That's the whole thing. Exactly, John. So whenever I see messages like that, I know I'm getting better. I know I am. So it's always some 35-year-old dude that got his account liquidated, and he's always trying to find some person to listen to because he doesn't want to put in the actual work, and then he just hates on people. So, Stuart, have a great day, man. Appreciate you here. Thank you very much. Hey, 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 I'm 35. You are a different story. You are willing to accept people and not look at them based on age. You look on the value of what they are saying and what they're talking about. So you are a different story, my dude. But people that base their judgments off of looks or age or, how much money they have, anything like that, those are the type of people that really don't deserve my time or effort. FA, thank you very much, man. I do appreciate that. Here to give you a like. Kai is a respected trader in Crypto Faces community. I wish we had crypto back in early 2000s. No, I do not. I do not wish we had crypto back in the early 2000s because then I wouldn't have been able to do anything with it, and it would already probably be up to $200,000. Because then, if we had crypto in the 2000s, I would have been 1 years old. Probably only a couple months old. Yeah, because when I first heard about crypto, I was 13 years old and I was in eighth grade, and that was on the $30 to $1,000 pump. And I was the money aspect is what drew me in, because kids they love to fantasize about buying all the things that makes them cool in school. The best shoes, buying a car, buying a house. They always want to picture those things. But as I got older, I realized that's not what I should be chasing. And I started to learn more about the technology behind Bitcoin, why it's valuable, and then I made a plan to make money in order to buy this asset. Yeah, we hit the jackpot, Justin. We hit the jackpot. We definitely did. And I do think there is more to come. Obviously, we could have some scalping patterns that might end up breaking out to the upside, like I said. And I'd probably move my stop loss based on those. Because like I said, this is our macro Gon fan. And I've already covered my stop loss. Even if I got stopped out above this, I would be well in profit. So I'm not too sad if that does ever happen. But I am looking for a swing low down to around 8,200. And then from there, I would exit my swing short and then potentially look for some upside. Specifically, a support around this 3-to-1 Gon fan or the 0.618 macro fib retracement. I actually have to change the color of this macro fib retracement. And I'll change the thickness as well. We'll do like, should we do like a light orange? Yeah, we'll do like a light orange. Okay. How much did you pay for your first BTC? $250. Like I said, during my freshman to sophomore year of high school, I started with $8. And what I did is I went down to Walmart. I bought a box of airheads, and there were 60 airheads in a box, and I would sell 3 airheads for $1. So I turned $8 into $20, and I just kept doing that. I started looking at other snacks I could sell in school. And then through my freshman and sophomore year, I made about $13,000, and I would just throw everything I had into crypto. And then that $13,000 turned into $400,000 when we hit $200,000. And I lost most of it because I was dumb and I didn't sell. So I lost about 66% of it. Waited until we bottomed out again. During that time, I really used that time to really look at like macro trends, how to spot that bottom. Start reading all the basic indicators. And then once we found that bottom and started really putting in that uptrend from $3,000, that's when I really started looking at leverage trading and making the most out of this and how to diversify my portfolio to avoid risk. Yeah, I've always been a weird kid, always looking for an angle. Not to like, con anybody, but how can I make money while providing a service? And when you're in school, what can you do? Sell candy. Kids love candy. It's an easy profit margin. You're not hurting anybody. Besides like maybe obesity, you might be causing a little bit of that, but you know. And I got into mining for a little bit. When I made all that money from Bitcoin, I had a really nice mining rig. I had probably like 20 1070s, and I was mining like $50 a day. So it wasn't that bad. And that was $50 a day back when like Bitcoin was like $6,000 to $7,000. So I did sell a lot of the mining stuff before it really started dropping in price. So I got my return on investment for that. It wasn't like a huge success, but it was a good learning process, and I love computers. If you don't know, like before I really started getting good at trading and making a lot of money from that, all of my classes in school were geared towards computers. I was taking my A plus. I have my A plus. I was in the process of taking my Net plus, and I wanted to become a server network engineer. That was my main goal. But now I've made so much money from crypto, and I'm continuously making so much money from crypto and trading that as long as I can learn how to trade, I will have a job for the foreseeable future. And definitely, as I go along, the better and better I get at trading, and the more and more people I bring in, I can definitely expand the one-on-ones. And obviously, like I said, I would have to charge more for it because my time would be more valuable, and I would have to make sure that there's not like an over flood of people. And I don't mean to say that like I'm, you know, uh, what's the word for it? Too good for school or too cool for school. Like my time is not like Warren Buffett level, not even close. But I've learned things. I've been through this, and I feel like if I can prevent someone from making the same mistakes I did, that is valuable. Chain Wax, what's up, buddy? Your first your first book, Candy to Gold. That's a good idea. Yeah, if you go back on my channel to like 2014, you'll see the early origins of Kite. We're actually gonna do that right now. How about that? I'll show you guys that video. Thank you very much, Kareen. I do appreciate that, buddy. How to make money fast in school. So I was doing these tutorial, how to make money videos when I was a kid. I was in the game. Where's it at? It has like 150 to 200,000 views or something like that. So many people have put out so many more videos on this since I've done it. We'll look up Kite with it. There you go. Fastest and easiest way to make money in school. Kite, 182,000 views 5 years ago.
First off, you want like the first rule. I'm gonna end this video real quick, but first rule: keep your presence.
Oh my God.
Tell them what you're making, and then fourth rule.
First rule: never tell them what you're making. I think I've held true to that rule, and I didn't even plan on it. I used to charge people's phones for $1 an hour, like $1 a minute or something like that. I was a hustler, man. I was a hustler. I can't watch this video. It makes me cringe too hard. I barely watch any of my videos. But that is the early origins of what you see today. Didn't miss much. Just a lot of ranting and raving. Dude, I didn't know how to articulate myself. That's why before, even though I had all this money, I wanted to get like a real job because I wanted to learn how to talk to people, how to articulate myself, customer service, all that stuff. Because those are huge skills. So even though I didn't need to go work, one of the reasons why I did get a job was because I wanted to get out of school early. Because senior year, you can get out of school halfway throughout the day if you had a job. So that was one of the reasons. But I found that it really did help me with everything I'm doing. So I don't regret it whatsoever. It was hard because you have to do a lot of shitty work for no pay. But the people I worked with definitely made it worthwhile. I loved working there. I made a lot of great friends. It was a lot of good life experience that if I did not have it, I would probably be a self-conceited little asshole on these streams. But man, I know it's when I'm talking like this, I know it sounds so stupid to a lot of people because I'm only 20 years old. I got so much stuff I still haven't gone through, but I try to be ahead of the game. I try to make sure that I don't do it so I want to seem better than people. I just want to be successful. That's all. Neil, thank you very much, man. I do appreciate that. The next thing on my goal list is I got to get down to 160 pounds. I am 193 right now, so definitely a lot of work to go. Definitely got to get my health right because, if I'm making all this money, I want to be around here to use it. I want to be able to see my grandkids grow up, all that kind of stuff. So definitely next thing on my to-do list is being peak performance. My mind is good. My financials are good, but my health has kind of suffered because I've literally just been spending nothing but hours at this computer learning and just ordering DoorDash over and over and over and over again. And it's got me to the point where I need to change things or else I'm going to go down a bad path. Amazing Asian, what's up, buddy? I've been doing absolutely fantastic. Killer trade last night, absolutely killer. I woke up to about 40% in profit, took some profit, covered my stop loss. We are good. Yeah, definitely. I definitely want to lose a little bit of weight and then start going on walks before I really start getting into running. Because if you just start running, I feel like that's gonna mess up your joints. I've watched a lot of like, uh, transformation videos, and that was one tip that I've found really common. Where if you are like a generally high weight and you have no experience with running, don't jump headfirst into it. Last time I did that, shin splints for weeks. That was probably like the most amount of pain I've ever been in is probably a kidney stone and shin splints, like bad shin splints, to the point where I could not even walk. It hurt so much. And my mom is one of those moms where, like, even if I'm sick, I'm going to school no matter what. So when I told her I had shin splints, she did not believe me. And I ended up crying. I was in so much pain when I was at school because I'd go from class to class. That was probably the most pain I've ever been in. And that was because I went balls to the wall. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go and get healthy. And I started just sprinting for miles. I'd probably run like 3 miles a day, just pushing myself as far as I could. Where did you learn how to trade? I started learning how to trade about 8 months ago. I learned mostly by watching Crown Crypto. And then if you don't know who Crypto Revolutions is, he is an excellent, excellent trader. He's just like me. He doesn't hype up price action. He's very realistic. He has a Patreon group for $60 a month that he gives you tutorial videos on how to trade, specifically breakout trading. I don't typically do a lot of I do breakout trading, but there's a lot more in between that I do. I do like to play the chop. He does have a signal group comes along with that $60 a month, so that he has a lot of value. So if you guys don't want my Telegram group, but you are looking for a really, really good one, I would definitely recommend Crypto Bitcoin Chris. He is absolutely one of the best traders on this platform, hands down, next to Crown Crypto and Filicone. Those three people have taught me so much that it's invaluable. I owe pretty much everything, all of my success to them. And that's what you need to do. You need to find really good traders that don't focus on the hype and focus on the technical analysis. Even if you don't understand what they're talking about, you need to absorb, listen, find the concepts they're talking about, and then research them on your own. And then slowly you'll start stacking your bags in terms of knowledge, and then it will start paying off later on. Had shin splints when I was carrying timber. Yeah, shin splints, not fun. Not fun whatsoever. He just put out a video the other day, and he pretty much said exactly what I was saying. Hey guys, we're pumping, but there is some bearish divergence to watch out for. Be careful, guys. And what happened? Boom. So he is definitely one of my favorite traders. Those three guys I owe everything to. So when I do get big enough, hopefully I can collab with one of them. I would love that so much. So if you guys do want to do me a favor, if there's anything I will ever ask for, it's not going to be a like on the video. It's not going to be that you share my videos. Go to Crypto Bitcoin Chris's comment section and just go, hey, have you heard about this kid named Kite? He's pretty cool. You should check him out. He definitely loves you. I would love you guys so much. If you guys had that much of an impact to get me in contact with Crypto Bitcoin Chris, and I could do like a live stream with him or something, I would be ecstatic. I would be absolutely, you would like the entire live stream would just be me smiling like the Joker. Just, that's my papa. Crypto Bitcoin Chris is my papa. His YouTube name is Crypto Revolutions. He is my favorite by far. Probably no chance in the foreseeable future for me to get in contact with Crown Crypto or Filicone, just because Crown Crypto is way too big. Filicone, he's not inactive. He plays a lot more macro time frame, so he's not putting out videos constantly. But Crypto Bitcoin Chris, absolutely love him. Absolutely love him. You charge for your phone. What? I don't know what that means. CBC Patrons is his private YouTube channel that's basically hidden. Those are the videos that you would get if you sign up for the Patreon. So like I said, I've told you guys that channel in the past because I definitely want to help out you guys. But those are supposed to be paid information. So if you guys do watch them for free and you learn a lot from them, because there is a lot of material, make sure you at least give him a 1 month subscription. That would be the right thing to do. So if you guys do check out that channel and watch those videos, just keep that in mind. So last night, my mom was watching my live stream and she was like, I'm watching you on YouTube, LOL. And then I sent her a message. I was like, Mom, can you beat up the people that hate me because I'm young? Most people love me, but once in a while, some 35-year-old who lost all their money gets jealous. And she goes, you know the saying, whoever passes the sentence must swing the sword. P.S. Dried up fruit can't swing the sword. Yep, you're in trouble. I don't know what that means. Can anybody decipher that for me? She likes to talk in parables. You know the saying, whoever passes the sentence must swing the sword. Dried up fruit can't hold a sword. Yep, you're in trouble. I don't exactly know what that means. When I do in this live stream, I'm probably gonna head over to her house because I need to go over there and help her. What time is it, by the way? It's like 6:37. So maybe at 7 o'clock, I'm gonna end the live stream. I'm gonna head over to my mom's real quick and say what's up. Oh, no, I don't want to play Apex Legends. No, I want to go to Spotify. This is my favorite song by Whitlower right now. I play Modern Warfare. So if you did want to add me on Modern Warfare, you can hit me up. I would have to give my Activision name. So if you do want to play that, you can message me on Discord. I'll give you my name. There's a couple people from live streams that I play with on COD. There's one guy that hit me up last time. Has a little bit of a controversial gamer tag, but cool guy. Love talking trading with him while we're playing video games. And it confuses everybody in the game because we talk through game chat. They're all like, what the hell are you talking about? Kite President 2050. God, I couldn't. There's so many live streams, so many videos that someone could find something to use against me. I know there's something. Like, I try to be as PC as possible. And like, I'm not, like, I don't say like crazy words. But I'm sure there's something. There's always something that they can twist or turn. I swear to God, this is the best vape device I think I've ever owned in my life. This is a work of art. This is a work of art. What if someone had, like, if PewDiePie ran for president, do you think he could do it if all of his subscribers voted for him? Because he has 100 million subscribers. So if, like, obviously not all of his subscribers live in the US, but if he ran for president in the US, I know he's not a US citizen, this is just a hypothetical. If he has 100 million subscribers that could vote for him if they all lived in the US, I know most of them are probably kids too, but hypothetical. He already has 1/3 of the population of the US that could technically vote for him, so that's pretty insane to think about it. Somebody that's an internet personality could do that. More patrols? Have a good night, man. I appreciate you staying around. Thank you very much for the kind words. I hope to see you back, buddy. This is a SX Mini pod device squonk mod. Okay, these just came out. So normal squonk mod, you have a little thing here. It's a salt nick device. Okay, whenever you hit the fire button, it has a pump here that will automatically shoot juice as it's firing, okay? And then it has a ceramic coil, okay? That's like an RDA, okay? It has incredible airflow. It is thermal controlled that you can't change. You can change how much juice is being pumped into the coil as it's firing. It has some of the best flavor that I've ever tasted on anything, and the Salt Nick, it's fantastic. It really is. This is the expensive version. They have a $60 version. This one particularly is 130 bucks. But it is fantastic. Rob, peace out, buddy. See you next time. Yes, the coils do last. Well, I can only guess. Probably like a week or two, I'll have an updated review on the coils. But I just got this today. But I would assume that they would last a very long time because it is a thermal controlled device, and you can't control the wattage or the thermal control on it. It is set. So I'm assuming that they perfected it and made it so that you can't put too much power in or too little power. So that way it works perfectly. But so far, I've been vaping on it all day. It is the best I've ever done. Don't promote smoking, even if it's vaping, coming from a heavy smoker. Yeah, I know. It's not a good thing. But you know, I do promote that if you are a smoker, you do go to vaping, because I mean it is 95% safer. And I know there's like a lot of controversy, like vaping's bad for you. No, vaping is not bad for you. Buying pre-filled pod systems from China that are manufactured on the cheap, and then smoking on them every single day, and you don't know what's going into your lungs, that is dangerous. Nicotine by itself is not dangerous as long as it's, not too much. Nicotine is not the proponent that causes cancer. Nicotine does restrict your blood vessels and can cause some heart problems, but that does not actually cause cancer. It's all the other chemicals within it. And then a lot of people are like, well, it releases formaldehyde when you vape. No, that is not true. Formaldehyde is released from PG at very, very high temperatures, but these do not get up to those temperatures whatsoever. No, vaping is not banned in the US. Pre-filled pod systems are built in the US. Well, not yet, but they will be. And that is the educated decision. The actual vape juice is safe. But if you are specifically manufacturing mass amounts of vape juice through machines, and then just packaging off and then sending it to the US, and you don't know what's in it, that is what's causing people to get sick and sometimes die. It also comes from, THC vape carts, the fake ones, because they can be laced with fentanyl, they can be laced with anything else, and as well as that, if they use too much vitamin E, when it is vaporized, is deadly, because you can overdose on it very, very easily. So a lot of these teens and stuff that were dying from vaping, they weren't telling the truth. They were dying from THC carts that they got off the street, and I'm sure that they didn't want to say that because vaping nicotine isn't as bad as vaping marijuana, okay? Just because the way our society is. Yeah, I had the RPM. I did not like it that much. The juice got caught in the well, and it would start popping back into my mouth. And then I went to the Da Vinci, which is essentially the same thing as the RPM, just a different design. That was a little bit better, but nothing compares to this. Absolutely nothing. If you do like pod systems or Salt Nick devices, that is. Joe Fabino. I will hit you up in Discord for COD. I think I'm streaming later tonight. You should stop by. Yeah, man, I'll check you out. Let me bring up a tab real quick. I'll subscribe to you, buddy. Joe Fabino. Fishy. No. Go lay down, buddy. Get out from under there. Is this it? I'm gonna guess. You work for a car dealership? Or is this just your background? I can't click on your name from here. Fish? No. Go lay down, buddy. I'll be done in a little bit. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry, man. I just had to laugh at this title. It is, it is, it's exactly the thing I don't watch. The secrets the bulls don't want you to know. But I appreciate it, buddy. No hate, man. No hate. Fishy. Go lay down. I'll be done in a little bit. What time is it? 10 minutes, Fish. 10 minutes. Okay, you just gotta be good for 10 minutes. We're gonna go to Grandma's. You wanna go to Grandma's? We'll go in 10 minutes. Okay? You just gotta go lay down. That's actually him. He's a car dealership. Lay down, Fishy. Sit. 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 Good boy. Lay down. We got some exaggerated bullish divergence. That's what's kind of making me think that this could be a strong scalping support. Yeah, it definitely could be. A lot of exaggerated bullish divergence off a couple of these waves. This is on the 1 hour. Let's go to the 2 hour. Yeah. And like I said, my rule of thumb for connecting divergences, this is a really good example. Okay. So like this wave here, okay, I can't see past this wave. Okay, so like this wave right here can't see this wave because this wave is blocking it. Okay, but it can see this wave. So that is a possible divergence. Okay, right here, this is able to see this wave and this is able to see this wave. So that's kind of like my rule of thumb. Like I said, it's not like a definitive answer, but just something that I've been following so that I'm not overzealous in my, where I'm drawing my divergences from. Crypto NP. We just talked about the price action, why I'm holding my short, all that kind of stuff. I am going to be ending the stream in about 10 minutes or so. So if you want to go back and watch the live stream through, up to you. I definitely, like I said, once we get a little bit more popular, I will be recording and streaming the live streams at the same time. And then probably in the beginning, I'll go back and do it myself. And I'll kind of timestamp all of the important parts of a live stream and then piece it together and condense it down to probably like 10 to 15 minutes. So that way for people that can't make it to the live streams, they can watch the highlights of it. Whether it's like a funny joke that somebody made or, really important information or how to draw your Gon fans or anything like that. We can really condense that down and make sure that it's more usable. I really don't have the time to do it right now, but definitely once we get more popular, I'll try to see if I can do it myself and still get to do everything. If not, I will have to hire somebody to do it for me. I'll just send the raw file to them, have some of the timestamps already marked out, and then they just piece it together. Hopefully adding a little bit of flair onto it, like a cool little intro like Crown Crypto or something like that. RSI bullish. We are getting some oversold bounces and a bullishly diverging RSI right here. But as well as that, we could be getting some hidden bearish like off of here, which definitely was an effect. Hidden bearish divergence right here as well. So what I'm looking at potentially is just another bearish continuation pattern pushing us down to the 1.618, down to about 8,200. That'd be a good target if we do break this $8,456 zone. Why don't I use normal waves for Market Cipher B? So Market Cipher B, like I said, the money flow and VWAP are very, very good indications. The RSI, not so much because it's too smoothed out. In order for RSI to be used effectively, you need to be able to draw really good support and resistance on it to find your bullishly and bearishly diverging indicator. And then the waves, there's so many waves that you can possibly draw divergences off of. It gets kind of confusing. And sometimes there'll be a divergence that I take a play on and it doesn't work out. But with the MACD, they are condensed, and I know that when I see a divergence, it will play out pretty effectively. So just a personal preference. Obviously, if you've paid the money for Market Cipher B and you feel like you have to use that solely, that's up to you. But don't get trapped. Crypto Don Juan, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Hold on, how many viewers are we up to? 47. Okay, so we dropped viewers, but we're about to end the stream anyways. Really doesn't matter. Man, I'm still trying to hit that 100 viewer goal. Because once we hit that, like I said, then we'll get a little bit more like every single day live stream during the week. Because then that really shows me that there's a demand for it. Well, it all depends on the time frame you're using too, Joe. A lot of people, they'll see a divergence on the 5-minute and they're expecting too much. But when you see a divergence on like a 2-hour, like right here, divergence here, drop, divergence here, drop. So definitely those are the things you want to be watching out for. Like right here, we do have a little bit of bullish convergence that could definitely bring us up to the upside a little bit more. But what would need to happen, okay, because this wave, until we get a gigantic wave like this that blocks off everything from this point back, this next wave that comes up is also going to be a huge divergence. Actually, no, it will not. It'll be bearish convergence. I'm mistaken. But that definitely could help us push past this, but it really won't have that strong of an effect. But let's see, would there be any more? So like, let's say the next wave is taller than these two. That would be hidden bearish divergence, and that would definitely push us past this $8,455 zone. Hopefully. Mandy, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Like I said, we'll be ending soon, but you're more than welcome to go watch the rest of it after I'm done here. What time is it? 8:54 or 6:54. I'm gonna start saying goodbye, guys, so I can head over to my mom's house real quick. I appreciate it as always. Absolutely awesome trade last night that went through, and hopefully we'll have another drop down to around 8,200. Find support from there, put ourselves in a pattern, and hopefully we break out to the upside on this next macro pattern. Joe, nice meeting you, man. Appreciate it. I don't know if I just met you. I think you were in some other live streams, but I'm not sure. I try to remember every single person that I've seen in live streams, so that way, you know, it's like a really like more personalized connection. But obviously, you know, the more and more people we get, it's gonna be harder and harder to do that. So I hope you guys understand. But I try my best. I definitely try my best. Mandy, have a great night. Korean, good night, buddy. QP, thank you very much. Yeah, I've been here since you started. I am so sorry, man. I am so sorry. But thank you so much. I do appreciate that. John, have a good night, buddy. Can you tell us what she meant in the next stream? Definitely. I will uncryptify that message and then find out what it meant. Shane Wax, have a good night, buddy. Hopefully we can move the timing to a bit earlier so I can have some sleep. Like I said, once we hit 100 viewers for 2 streams consecutively, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I will be streaming earlier, probably around 1 p.m. EST, so that people that are in other countries, it'll be like, probably like if you're in Europe, it'll probably be around like 6 or 7 p.m. If you're in Australia, you'll probably have to make these streams. If you're in Australia, it's probably like early morning right now. I think they're like 12 hours ahead of us, so it's probably like 6 a.m. in the morning. All right. Crypto MP, have a great night, man. Neil O'Neill, have a good night. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one. I'll be on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. EST. If you guys can make it, I would absolutely appreciate it. If not, I'll see you in the next one. Stav, appreciate it, buddy. Zoltan, thank you, man. I appreciate it. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow.